Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna take some time to finally learn how to style my shorter hair. I have had this hair for almost a year now, since last summer. I have finally found a good way to do overnight curls, which I shared in my last hair video. But on wash days, it's still not it. I feel like my shorter hair needs a lot more styling to look good. In fact, it needs everyday styling in order to look good. Otherwise, it's just a bit drab and this I hate that. So yeah, my hair is now also growing out a little, and in that awkward in between, is this even a haircut stage, in need of styling. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I am going to try and style my hair wavy and straight so that I have two options on wash day for how I want my hair to look, and then the next day I can have my overnight curls. So in order to do that, I am going to be using this hair dryer. This is the Tymo Air Hype. Tymo are very kindly sponsoring today's video. The Tymo Air Hype is a high-speed, low-noise hair dryer. A beautiful compact size. I have never had a hair dryer even close to this small. It has a display on the back that tells you the temperature and the speed settings. Beautiful, very minimal design. Just two buttons on the front that regulate the temperature and the speed, and then the on and off button in the back. And there's also a switch that you can push in the back here to put it on cool mode. Here's what the box looks like. The hairdryer has 3 different speed settings and 4 heat settings, with the highest speed setting being 23 meters per second, which is insane. And just to get a little bit of a better idea, this is what that looks like. The hairdryer comes with 3 attachments, a convertible diffuser, which switches from long prongs to short prongs, which is really cool. It comes with a concentrator, nozzle, and a comb or like brush attachment. This one is not for my hair type, so I'm gonna focus on the other 2 for now. And I think I'm gonna start by styling my hair wavy. So I don't know if you remember, but I did experiment with the curly curl method a while back. Abandoned it again because it didn't yield the results I was hoping for. I do just have straight hair with maybe the tiniest bit of wave, but I can force that wave if I use some of the techniques from the curly curl method, amongst others using a lot of hold and diffusing my hair. And I actually think that doing that on my fairly straight hair does give a really pretty textured, voluminous effect. And I like that on myself. So that's what I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna attach my diffuser attachment here. They are all magnetic, so this is really simple. Just plops right on. I'm gonna use the shorter prongs because I don't have a mass of curls that they need to poke through. And now I do need some prep work and product. Since my hair has dried down a little, I'm just gonna re-spray it. And then I'm gonna apply some mousse here for a little bit of hold. Scrunch that in. Start trying to get a little bit of that shape. When I just cut my hair last summer, or maybe in autumn, I would actually do this after almost every wash because I just really prefer the textured, more voluminous look to my shorter hair. Longer hair as well, but it's easier to achieve. On shorter hair, the waves just form and stay a little bit better, which makes sense because the hair isn't as heavy. Okay, we have the beginnings of something like a wave pattern forming here. Let's do a little bit more mousse, because once again we are forcing this a little. My hair isn't that curly of its own. So alrighty, we have waves kind of. So I'm gonna set my diffuser here to a low speed and low heat, and we're gonna start drying. This is the loudness. It's much quieter than my other hair dryers. It really is super gentle on the lowest setting, so that's fantastic. You have options. Okay, I'm gonna start Pixie diffusing here, because I always feel like that just does a little bit more for my hair. Gather it up in here. Turn it on. Ta-da! Okay, let's keep going like this. I do think actually I'm gonna move those prongs up just to give me a bit more space and a little bit more grip maybe. Or maybe just halfway. That's an option, of course. Yeah, let's put them halfway between up and down. I think my ends are almost dry, but I'm going to use the longer prongs here to reach my roots. Just give those a little extra boost. Okay. I think my hair is dry, more or less. And I also think that this is actually the curliest result I've ever gotten by just, you know, scrunching in some product and diffusing my hair. It's not all the way dry yet. Wait, hold on a second. Let's scrunch out the crunch a little bit, because I did use a lot of mousse here. Maybe a little bit more than I needed. But all in all, I am very happy with the way this looks. It's very voluminous. It's most definitely wavy. And it was relatively quick as well. Now obviously diffusing hair always takes a while, but compared to the hairdryer I used before with a diffuser that didn't actually fit onto the hairdryer and I had to hold it, this was so much quicker. And I think I got a better result because of it. I think I'm maybe overworking it a little bit now, so I'm gonna keep my hands off, but this is it. This is the curly look, the wavy styled long bob, I guess. Lob? Does anyone still use that word? But this is what it looks like. I think it looks really natural and casual, and this is definitely one of the ways I do like to see my hair, just with a lot of volume on the bottom. I like this shape. I like this shape. As much as I like this though, we have a second style to try. So there goes the diffuser, and we're going in with the concentrator, because I'm gonna end on the straight style. Goodbye, curls and waves. Okay, we don't need this to be dripping. So for this style, I have my round brush and I have my concentrator. I'm just gonna brush my hair through actually before we start, because it's quite windswept, let's call it that way. And for this, I'm gonna section my hair. I'm gonna attempt to go for that rounded inwards bob look. So I'm gonna separate my hair, and then I'm gonna do the top last. Make sure there are no tangles. For this, I'm gonna use, I think still the lowest speed, but a warmer setting. So maybe I will move on to the second coolest setting. The Tymo Air Hype dries your hair with speed rather than heat, so there is no damage involved and you don't even need a heat protector when you use a lower setting. Can you tell I haven't done this very many times before? I'm not entirely sure I'm doing this right, but we do have the general shape that I'm going for. It is curving inwards and it looks nice and smooth and shiny, so I think we're on the right track. The technique I've chosen for this, to keep in mind I don't really know what I'm doing, is to move the concentrator along the hair, so I'm pointing it down first, and then as the hair curves inwards, I'm kind of blowing with the curve. Maybe I need to turn this attachment this way. That's much easier. It looks really smooth. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention, this hairdryer is ionic, so it does blow out negative ions, which helps to make the hair look smoother. I never know which hand to hold the hairdryer and which hand to hold the brush. What do you hold in your dominant hand? Let me know. Or do you switch from one side to the other? I think I should go ahead and watch a tutorial. Okay, we're good. I was doing it right. I did learn a few tricks that I can use when I do the top in a bit, but for now, we're good. We're good. I can keep going. Bottom is done. Now let's move on to the top. Actually, I think I'm gonna clip up one more section again, just the center right here, so I can pay a little bit extra attention to that. I do feel like this looks very 90s. I kind of feel like Porsche Spice, which is definitely not a bad thing. For the last bit, I just learned that I should focus my direction upwards to create a lot of volume. We're on to the last bit, which is my bangs. And this is important because it's right next to my face, so I need to Make sure I do this well. The trick here apparently is to blow the hair up and forward, which is honestly very similar to what I do when I do my overnight blowout, so it makes sense that a real blowout would be similar. This is kind of hard to do when your bangs are shorter than the width of the brush. Maybe I should just do just the bangs so that they have a bit of a... No, they will not grip onto this brush. Oh, let's see what it looks like then. They kind of just chose a direction. But overall, it's not bad. Oh, I think that may have done the trick actually. Okay, nice! I like this! My hair looks smooth, it's still voluminous, and I feel it bends inward, which is the way I like it. And I feel like once I get a bit more practice with this round brush, this would probably be a lot faster than trying it the wavy way and diffusing it all around. In theory, with this technique, the hair is dry after just one pass, whereas with the diffusing, it just takes a lot longer. But yeah, I really like the look of this as well. And I love the volume it gave me. So let's take a look at the back. It's not limp in any case, and that was the main goal here. I do have some flyaways up top here. Yeah, I need to work on my technique when it comes to the round brush. All in all, quite pleased with the result. I actually really like both of these, so I will probably just alternate between them, see how I feel after I wash my hair and if I want to do curly or straight that day, but both of these were great. And I must say, this hairdryer is just wonderful. When you turn it off, it does remember your settings, which makes it really easy to just turn off and on to reposition your brush or the diffuser. And it's just wonderful. I really enjoyed using this. There's a link to where you can find the Dymo Air Hype in the description box below. A huge thank you to them for sponsoring this video. If you guys have any tips on how I could improve my blow drying technique, because I'm still fairly new to this, I would absolutely love to hear. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do be sure to check out Dymo in the description box below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!